Good morning, everybody, man. Good morning. Morning blessings to everybody, man. Oh, wow. It's crazy, man. Greenland, right? That's the next place. I play a lot of strategy games, a lot of tabletop war gaming, that type of shit. Or at least I used to. I'm trying to get back into that. That's a whole other issue. When I got money for Warhammer 40K, I guess, we'll talk. But um, other bills are important right now. Anyways, point of the matter is, man, what I'm seeing right now is a depletion of our forces, our armaments, um, basically a waste of our taxpayer dollars bombing targets that are inconsequential, wasting our military resources without provocation, right? Thinning your forces too thin ultimately will lead to disaster. Obviously, our commander in chief has probably never read The Art of War. He does everything like he read it out of the 48 Laws of Power, and yeah, that's all. That book's all about deception. It all, in the world of karmic law, dude, none of that shit applies. It looks good in theory, but in the reality, people actually get upset when they get deceived, lied to a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Um, Point of the matter is, man, I was watching something from the BBC, British Air Force intelligence, and we're already staging a bunch of aircraft in Europe for whatever reason. Now, you won't see this on American news, but this comes from a European news outlet. And that was like 3-4 days ago. They were starting to stage stuff before he even made the announcement about Greenland. The fact that we don't have any sort of congressional sign off on this shit should infuriate all of you. And I'm trying not to talk so much politics, man. I've been off topic because I'm really, yes, I'm about my recovery. Yes, I'm about that, man. But I see a bigger problem in America nowadays. And the biggest problem is this regime trying to just strip everybody away from their money, strip everybody away from any sort of unity we used to have, strip everybody away, make us all try to fight each other, attack each other, hate on each other. Not to sound like a hippie, but man, what about love? Whatever happened to that, man? I used to be a raver kid back in the day, man. Warehouse parties and that stuff. And we used to follow this plur: peace, love, unity, and respect. What happened to that, y'all? Like, what happened to it? Did we all become so jaded and so hurt the way society and shit treated us the last 20 years that we just all fucking turned into a bunch of raging narcissists? I'm not like y'all, man. I have empathy for people. I have empathy for things. I have empathy for all people, of all nations, all creeds, all religions. Humans. But our hearts nowadays are just full of such hate, man. And you got people like me, man. Man, I've been through a lot in my lifetime. And I'm blessed to even wake up today. Because all my friends who don't get the chance to wake up today, every day for me is a blessing. If you've seen Fight Club, the Raymond K. Hessel sort of conflict. You know what I'm saying? My food tastes better in the mornings. My coffee tastes better than all y'all's. Because there were times where I was sitting there going, you know what, I might not make it till tomorrow. And that's how the gratitude comes out, Be grateful for what you have and not what somebody else has, is basically what it is. Stop trying to compare your life to other people's, man. And don't let nobody write your story. You know who, I actually saw that quote, that motivational quote. No, don't let anybody hold the pen in your story. And it was actually a quote from Harley Davidson, the guy who started the Harley Davidson Motor Company. Crazy, right? Yeah, I hold my pen in my story, man. You know? And I advise y'all to do the same. When it comes down to it, though, the things that are important to you, hold closely, hold dear, you know? But I wish, as a whole country, as a whole world, man, we could get over this hating on each other and wonder. And I'm just as guilty. Shit, just a couple days ago, I was on that fucking yeah, let's fight type shit, you know? But I've been conditioned to be that because of the situations I put myself in all these years, you know? And I haven't been in those type of situations in a pretty long time, man. I'm trying to evolve and go to the next level, man, and stop letting small shit fuck with me, you know? But there's a fine line between disrespect and people just being outright disrespectful just to get under your skin and people doing it to be hateful. You know what I'm saying? I think, honestly, you don't have to follow me. You don't have to fucking listen to what I say. You don't have to do nothing, man. You can unsubscribe. You could not watch my channel. I don't care. I'm not in this for likes, dude. That's what y'all don't understand. I have a message. And that's worth more than any money. That's worth more than any gold. I have a message to try to help people. You know? And this shit's it's a double-edged sword, man. You know, I was irritable and discontent yesterday, but you know, I called my network, called my sponsor. All right, man, I'm not feeling up to it today. I'm really feeling on some ill shit, you know. But you know, wake up today, totally different thing. Had some things to do, appliance I have to get fixed in the house and stuff like that. I had to call, get estimates, all that other stuff. You know, just part of everyday life. But I'm blessed to be able to even have that. You know, my life 10 years ago, on retrospect, was not a life worth living. And honestly, if I kept going the way I'm going, I would have already been dead. You know? You know, people want to talk about my criminal record, man. That arrest in Florida, dude, if that didn't happen, I'd have been dead. I would have died. I'm glad that shit happened. I'm glad I got caught that day. You know what I'm saying? They got me a chance to get into a program and actually try to take this shit seriously. Did it save me from relapse? No. I stopped going to meetings. I stopped working my program. And I relapsed. And it took me until basically I overdosed. And when I overdosed, man, I threw it all out. That day I decided I ain't going to do this shit no more. That was over 5 years ago, man. Decided I just ain't going to do it no more. I can't live like this. Like I said, I stayed on the bottle for 3 more years after that. Trying to be a normal, functioning alcoholic in society. And you know, it worked for a while, man. I used to say that alcohol was my gasoline to run my motor and my engine. And then I feel like I had a little bit more drive when I was drinking. But it was all falsified. That falsified hustle to get money to feed my addiction. Right? So now that I don't drink, I don't use drugs, man, I don't worry about that type of shit no more. You know? And I went through 20-something plus years of hell with this shit, man. Hell. Literally hell, dude. Losing friends. Homeless. I mean, anything you could fucking possibly think of, man. Getting shot at, getting robbed, all that extra shit, man. And for what? Ain't no big house. Ain't no fucking fly car like it looks in the movies. For what? Money that I had to spend on lawyers in the long run and empty my bank account so I could get some representation. Try to play catch up every single time we get back outside. all that comfortability eventually makes it to the point where you want to do something different. And I got to that point. And if I wasn't at this point, I couldn't sit there and analyze the world the way I do now. And see the bad and the good in things. You know? Even in bad people, I try to see the good in them. And a lot of times that bit me in the ass. I'm not even going to cap with you. But I'm not going to give up trying to see the good in people. Just like I'm not going to give up on somebody that keeps relapsing or someone that can't seem to get this program. Doesn't want to put the work in. You know? And that is the biggest lesson of them all. You know? Do you learn from the past shit you do? Do you evolve, or do you stay in that same low vibe mind frame? Low vibration. You know, y'all want to call me a low cal, I'm going to call y'all low vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk, man. You're low vibe. You have a low vibration, man. You're not in tune to the world and how shit actually works. A lot of that's due to a lot of y'all's inexperience to do shit. You know? And I'm not gonna blame everybody as a whole, but you know, man, look, I've seen motherfuckers in their 40s and 50s running circles around kids in their 20s when it comes to a job. You know, and I'm not gonna sit there and shit on anybody's work performance. But for the real talk, man, y'all spend too much time on your cell phones. Why is every job I'm at, they tell me to be off mine, but everybody else be on theirs, right? It got to the point where I just got comfortable with not having my cell phone at work. Like at my last job, man. I wasn't on that shit at all. I went in there the first day, they hacked my shit via Bluetooth. I took pictures, moved it onto an external, kept it pushing, and didn't bring my phone for the rest of the time. Maybe because I was already expecting that, you know? It's weird. It's weird having this happen to you, you know? And feeling singled out, that it's literally you against the world. Start not trusting people around you. These were the same messed up things I had in the dope game. I'm not going to deal with this shit while I'm sober. Period, point blank. But you ran with the junkie narrative for so long. And I wasn't on Facebook, so you couldn't. And a lot of times y'all was listening into my microphone, dude. I started sending disinformation on purpose. Once I saw my phone glitching and shit like that, I started sending y'all information. I call it feeding the narrative. You know? Just to see what gets back to me. The first one was peppers. The second one was pickles. You know? Just dumb shit. And I actually learned a new skill from both those things. But that was just random shit. And to literally sit there the next day and watch people talk about that. Or at my last job, it was my girl talking about bringing pudding home from work. Because that's our snack. That's what we eat. This is what grown folk talk about, dude. You know, y'all still lost in this shit. Like people get married and love, and like, dude, when you get older, it's just kind of like, do you like the same movies? We eat the same shit. I don't feel like destroying you every single day. You know, that type of shit. You grow out of that kid type of shit when it comes to a relationship, man. But I'm not here to give relationship advice. I'm the last person to give any of that type of shit for. Anyways, I'm rambling, man. I just, like I said, dude, it's been a chaotic, 24 hours, man. It's been just weird in politics. There's a weird feeling in the air. And I don't know if anybody else feels it. But it feels like something crazy is just gonna, I don't know, man. I can't describe it. I have this gut feeling, and I'm just praying. That's the only thing I can do, man, is pray for everybody. I guess for today is, man, if you do pray, you do have some sort of religion. Man, pray for people that ain't you. Pray for stuff that has nothing to do with you. Man. Pray for other people. Pray for worldly situations. Pray for peace, man. Can we attain peace? Or as humans, are we just going to be at each other's throats the whole time? Constantly battling over the dumbest stuff, you know? I went to the AA program with the open mind this time. And I stopped trying to link up with people that acted like me, looked like me, talked like me, and all that other shit. I literally tried to find the exact opposite of the type of person I was. And the reason being is to have that type of balance, to get other people's perspectives on how life works. I got a guy who's completely into Christianity and stuff, and I love him to death. I go to him for religious type perspectives. You know? My sponsor calls God stardust. You know what I'm saying? Very scientific approach. Which I think there needs to be a common medium between the two, honestly. I'm not talking Scientology. I'm just talking, don't ignore science, but don't discredit religion, you know? Can we find a balance? Can we find a balance as a human species? Can we find a common ground to where we're like, hey, we're all people? Or are we just going to continue to be like on the fucking snake planet on Rick and Morty? It's my favorite episode of Rick and Morty because it explains the situation we're going through right now. Literally word for word, man. I don't know. I hope y'all having a blessed day. I hope everybody's keeping their heads up. And if you're struggling, man, just keep trying to do the next thing, man, and get your shit together. You may not know, but you got people praying for you in the dark quarters, man. And with that, dude, just keep rocking and trying to go to the next level, man. Everybody have a blessed day. I got more stuff to do. So, I'm going to keep it sparse today. And I hope y'all are having a blessed and happy day and can get whatever goals you're trying to achieve done. Alright, man. Y'all have a blessed morning.